Hello everyone, and this is Abhilash from Mechanical Department second year, section B. And the topic I was given with is our Indian Constitution uh, and its history. Coming to the main point, our Constitution starts with Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, who was also known as the father of our Indian Constitution. He was independent India's first Minister of Law and Justice and the chief architect of Constitution of India. He was born on 14th April 1891 at a degraded caste. Coming to a government of India, it mainly depends that the republic is governed in terms of the Constitution of India, which was adopted by the Constituent Assembly on 26 November 1949, which is also known as the Constitution Day of our country, and then came into force on 26 Jan 1950. There is a proverb that constitutional morality must be implemented or stuffed into someone, and it cannot be a natural sentiment. And it's true because a child born in any country is unaware or unknown about the constitution of the country, so that it should be fed into that child, and patriotism should be developed in her, his or her body. And it was a quote said by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. As you have some glancy points about our constitution, let's get into a deep introduction on our history of Indian constitution. The Constitution of India is the supreme law of India. It imparts constitutional supremacy and not parliamentary supremacy, as it is not created by the parliamentary but a constituent assembly and adopted by its people with a declaration in its preamble. Parliament cannot override it. The document lays down the framework demarcating fundamental political code, structure, procedures, powers, and duties of government institutions, and sets our fundamental rights. Now coming to the history of Constitution of India, we have to um, initially discuss. We are supposed to initially discuss about these two entities. One is the British India, which consists of 11 provinces, and another one is princely states. They both merged together to form the Indian Union. Now, on discussing about the Regulating Act 1773, the act is passed to regulate and control the affairs of India East India Company. It designed the governor of Bengal as Governor General. Its subordinated governors of Madras and Bombay too. It prevented workers in EIC to do private trade. On coming to Pitt's in the Act 1784, which distinguished between commercial and political functions of the company, reduced the strength of the Governor General's Council to 3 members, placed the Indian affairs under the direct control of the British government. Governor councils were established in Madras and Bombay. Coming to Charter Act of 1833, Governor General of Bengal began as the Governor General of India. The act ended the activities of the East India Companies as a commercial body and it became a purely administrative body. Charter Act of 1853 includes 6 members in Central Legislative Council. 4 out of 6 members were appointed by the provincial governments of Madras, Bombay, Bengal, and Agra. On discussing the main points of GOT, that is Government of India Act, GOIT. Government of India Act of 1858, the rule of company was replaced by the rule of the crown in India. Lord Canning was the first viceroy of India under this act, who abolished the Board of Control and the Court of Directors. On coming to India Council Act of 1892, which introduced indirect elections, enlarged the function of legislative councils, and gave them the power of discussing the budget and addressing questions of the executive to the executive. On this act, based on this act only, the recent budget discussions are going to parliamentary, and so on. So news are coming about the budgets and discussions. On coming to India Councils Act of 1909, the act is also known as the Morley Minto reforms. Direct elections to legislative councils first attempted introducing a representative and a popular element. Government of India Act of 1935. The act provides the establishment of All India Federation consisting of the provinces and the princely states as the units, though the investigated federation never came into being. The act divided the powers between the center and the units into items of 3 lists, namely the federal list, provincial list, and the concurrent list. It provided for the establishment of federal code, abolished the Council of India. no panic, just dust. Now coming to the India Independence Act of 1947, it declared India as the independent and sovereign state, established a responsible government at both the center and the provinces. It assigned dual functions such as the constituent and legislative to the Constituent Assembly and declared this dominion legislative as a sovereign body. On discussed about the earlier events that happened before independence, there are some more important events before completion of the history of Indian Constitution. 13th December 1946, Constitutional Assembly was formed including Dr. Jawaharlal Nehru. 22nd January 1947, Preamble of Constitution of India. 29th August 1947, a committee was formed under Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. 15th October 1947, the first draft of Constitution was made. 21st February 1948, final copy was submitted to President. 26th October 1948, reprint of Constitution was done. 15th November 1948, the Constitution was revised clause by clause. 16th November 1949, second edition was submitted. 26th November 1949, Constitution was submitted in Assembly and passed. 26th Jan 1950, implementation of laws and acts. As we have discussed many events, many years about the what are the acts which was passed in which years and what are the amendments they have done, let's come to the conclusion of this topic. They replaced supremacy in the hand of legislature, but it had to be restricted because, unlike Great Britain, India has a lengthy written constitution, a federal distribution of powers, and a list of fundamental rights. Therefore, parliamentary laws to be valid must conform in all respects with the constitution. And that's the end of our discussion. Before ending the video, as it's a coronavirus outbreak, all of them had to be very safe, very quarantined, very clear, very cleanliness, and so much as of obey the orders which has been followed by the government. So stay home, stay safe. Thank you.